We back with DC strats for Soprano. This season the boss has changed and all units have minus 30% skill haste and Esper units have plus 100% attack and 50% HP and skill haste. My recommendation for Super Fusion Course this season is to 120 Regina for DPS and Lin Jian and Swan for survivability. I will be going over the mechanics of the fights, some stats for nerds, and I have an example team for you to use this season, which you can find the squad code in the description below. Also, if I happen across any runs, you can find those pinned in the comment section. All this will be timestamps, which you can find in the video description, so let me show you what I got. Boss is now a tower. And instead of skill, well, she still kind of has skill haste, but now all of her attacks are fury based. Her special and her ulti. Boss has two types of basic attack. The range attack has 10 valid hits, and if you're not within a specific range, we'll start using that. Once you're in melee range, the boss has a 3 valid hit basic attack. After 6 basic attacks, the boss will use its enhanced attack, which is a 2 hit, 3 valid hit. Boss's special, indicated by the blue bar underneath her portrait, will knock back your entire team and put them asleep for 15 seconds. This will not hit the ship. At 60% HP, the boss will transition to phase 2. This is indicated by probably the first bar of HP. After going into phase 2, this unlocks her ulti. The ulti doesn't hit hard, but what it does is it hits your entire team 5 times and then brainwashes your strikers and defenders. This can be mitigated by either iframing one of the hits, because unless you get hit 5 times, they don't actually get brainwashed, or you can sit there and redeploy your units. So the pattern enhance basically makes it where you don't see phase 2 anymore. Instead of phase 2 happening at 60% HP, the boss only goes into phase 2 when she ultis, which is honestly kind of a godsend to us because phase 2 was a butt. So for the special conditions, basically you can't play anything that's 3 costs or less. That does not include leader ability. If you do, the boss will absolutely go insane, gaining massive attack buff, massive skill haste, I believe, and she's just you don't want to mess with it. But this is actually a pretty cool animation. I'm not gonna lie. It's like glitching out. Here are the stats for nerds. This boss has a whopping 5.2 million HP, 6.3k defense, 3.4k hit, and oddly enough her evasion got reduced to only 664. This means that your tanks are going to need at least 1,839 or more evasion, and your DPS will need 1,245 or more hit if you did not shred any evasion, and then 623 or more hit if you shred the evasion by 50%. Best tip I can give you is learn this glitch. It's not terribly difficult. It may take a few tries. I find that exactly when the clock hits 256, if you drop a Hail Day, it works out pretty well. Now, if you happen to deploy too early, a Hail Day just gets knocked back and the whole thing's messed up. So at that point, it's best just to go ahead and retry. Now I'll go ahead and show you what happens when you do it too late. The whole thing is that you want Lin Jian to get knocked back and be asleep for 15 seconds, nice and safe in the back, but also not have to deal with the boss's ranged attacks. And so since a Hilde can't make it to the boss in time, that just wakes up Lin Jian, then she'll end up walking forward and getting mauled by the boss and dying. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go Lin Jian into a Hilde. Make sure to deploy a Hilde a little farther forward than your Lin Jian. And then they just get knocked back. And now we're stuck here for the next, I don't know, 22 seconds or so. But yeah, how are y'all doing today? I really don't have much to talk about right here. But at 2:36, we're going to use our special, the S1 on the ship, so that we can blind the boss. And then Lin Jian needs to dodge basically everything. As soon as our operator proc runs out, that's when we deploy our Swan into Lin Jian ult, and then I'm ulting at 225 on a Hilde and deploying Regina. This is going to set me up later so that a Hilde can get knocked back, but she won't be knocked back here for whatever reason. She didn't have a shield at the time, and at certain points during ulti she can actually get knocked back, but for some reason at that point she can't, but it still interrupts her ulti. But I digress. So we get AG out here so that we can get some shields up, be able to protect our units. Our Regina finally pops, so now she's actually able to use her special, and she does a little damage, which is nice. And then here comes this special. This is the special where we do need to get knocked back, and we need to get our Surya out as soon as possible and use our S1 again for our ship. People need to be able to dodge, and this is the only way they can. Now you see my Swan is almost dead, and honestly use that ulti as soon as you can, because there's no guarantee that she's actually going to live. And then after that, it's pop all of our ultimates, deploy Sylvia, who is our lead by the way, so it adds an additional damage amp here, and then blow the boss up as quickly as we can. And of course, Regina taking the top damage here. Sure, did more than I thought she would. This team, we are running Detroit as the ship, Asha as the operator. For Lin Jian, we are going to go full tanky CDR. We do want to go inhib hands on her. She is hard to keep alive. For Regina, we are going full anti-tower damage. We are going to run an SC haste just for the extra skill haste. For Hilde, we're going full CDR. We're actually just going to go ahead and go full damage CDR. She doesn't need really any damage res, so. And then for Swan, we are going with our tankiest CDR set. We need her to stay alive, and you saw that she lived with just a thread of HP. Sinjia doesn't actually need that much. She actually kind of tanky, so we can go full skill haste on her, which is probably better. And then for Surya, we are going, well, just any type of tank gear. A speed tank gear, HP. She only gets one special anyway, so it really doesn't matter as long as she's tanky. And then Esterosa is just for some cope scores. And then Sylvia. She doesn't actually get to do much. So, I mean, go ahead and put damage gear on her just in case she gets a hit in. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope this helps you improve scores this season. I'm gonna go find me some coffee, but I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link is in the description, and if you want to help support this channel, there's a link in the description for that too. As always, I will see you all next time.